Hello, this is Love is Real 777 to do a review on the Cold Steel Trench Shock and the Cold Steel GI Tanto. First of all, I'm going to do one on the Cold Steel Trench Shock. You probably all know the specs. It is 1055 carbon steel. That is the blade. It goes 5 inches, I believe, down into the polypropylene handle. It's secured by two, you can see them, two bolts right here, secure. They actually had the cold steel pipe off and had trouble with the blade actually staying on the handle, but not with this because it is tanged into the handle itself. I did a few mods on it. It does not come with a belt loop. I had a little strap with two metal bars in it that I was able to clip. It does move around a bit, but it is able to hang off your belt like this. And as well, I added this red ribbon for quick draw, so I have it hanging on my belt as shown. I pull it up like this, and then there is the blade itself. Okay, this is actually a pretty wide blade. It does have this spike on the back, which gives you the extra length of the blade. It's ideal for blocking as well as holding your own. The blade, I believe, is 3 inches long, 3 to 4 anyway. It's a small blade for an axe anyway. For a tomahawk, it's a good size. And the spike comes off the back. Both are formidable for fighting as well as chopping. I've heard people say that this is not good for chopping wood. I beg to differ. I brought it out first day I got it. It was fully sharpened then, of course, but cut through like a 7-inch log in like 30-40 seconds. So I don't know if theirs weren't sharpened correctly, but it does cut through well. Cut through wood well anyway. Just like all tomahawks, it is heavier on the end. So if you were using it as a tactical self-defensive weapon, I would advise practicing with it before you do so, because so you can get accustomed to the weight. There are a lot of cool motions you can do with the tomahawk, especially this one, because there's a spike on the backhands and slices and stuff. The polypropylene handle is awesome. It is very flexible, and it will not break as wood might. One thing I will say is, on the off chance you are attacked by someone with a long blade like Bowie knife or machete or sword, God forbid, the slicing, it getting sliced, I've had a few sparring lessons with my friend with a not fully edged sword, but a mildly edged sword. And as far as the slicing goes, it's almost as good as straight grained wood, but it's not as good. Straight grained wood will hold up well against slicing attacks, but what is the likelihood of someone coming into your house with a machete or sword attacking you? So, I have not had much time to throw it, but from what I've heard from other reviews is that when you throw it, it is more likely to stick due to the fact that it has the spike as well as the blade. The handle is 18 inches long. It has finger grooves at the top, which would be good for, say you didn't have a knife in a survival situation, you could carve, as well as do the full swinging motions. Another thing I did to it is put grip tape on it. I'm not sure if you can see that, but I did put some grip tape on it that you would use on like a bat or something, and it makes loads of difference, I will say. I tried an inner tube. It worked well, it just didn't stay on because it was for a standard bike size, not like a 12-speed. So if you're going to use an inner tube, try to stick a 12-speed one on. Although it would be really narrow and really difficult to put on, it would probably stay then. I had that on, it worked well, but this grip tape works even better because it doesn't add any more width to the handle, and it does make you grip a lot better. It makes the swing motions a lot quicker, which should be vital in a defensive situation. Overall, I love it. I've had it for a month or so right now. I would suggest keeping some oil on the blade anywhere that's not covered with the anti-rust coating. I've worn it off a little back here, so I keep some back here because it will rust if you do not do that. Keep the guard on the sheath on whenever you are not using it. And yeah, awesome tomahawk. Very, very good for chopping wood, regardless of what I've heard from other people. There goes my phone. Anyway, alright, so that was the Cold Steel Trench Hawk. Alright, now to shoot this back up. Cold Steel GI Tanto. I've had this for a couple months now. The Trench Hawk runs for, I think, around 40. I think I got it on Amazon for around $40, so very inexpensive as far as defensive weapons go, I guess. I mean, versus guns, you're going to be paying a whole lot less for that than you would a decent rifle or handgun. This is the GI Tanto. The blade is 7 inches long. I believe it's overall 12 or 13 inches. You can check the specifications yourself. If you're on the internet, you can do that. I like this knife a lot. It's very, very basic, like it says on that Cold Steel website. It's stripped down to its raw. So pretty much you just have a sheet of metal about 13 inches long, and then two probably polypropylene, but they're plastic sheets kind of running across the metal for the handle, making it just a little thicker on the handle. As I did with my Trench Hawk, I put some grip tape on it just to add a little more grip. It wasn't as slippery as the Trench Hawk, but still with the grip tape, it's for more quick movements. What I really like about this blade is that it's pretty thick for a knife this long, and for a knife this inexpensive, only around $30. The blade is pretty thick throughout this whole part. The part where it narrows down is towards the tip. You can see there's a false edge on the back, which could be sharpened. It is mildly sharp. Of course, you can run your finger across it, but I could easily sharpen it. I choose not to because I have no use of it, just as I choose not to sharpen the spike because I think it's formidable already, the spike on the Trench Hawk. That blade came extremely sharp, but anyone can sharpen a blade if you have a whetstone or a quick sharpener. So the disadvantage of this blade is if you decide to throw it, which is advertised as you can throw it. The tip is extremely thin and will bend if you throw it too much. I've thrown it a couple times, realized that although it's advertised as a throwing blade, it's not made for throwing. Cold Steel does stand behind their knives 100%, so if it does bend or break, you could send it back probably, and most likely they would give you a refund. I've had no problems with this knife aside from the little bending of the tip. The blade stays sharp for a very long time. It is a very good tactical knife. The GI point, the Tanto point, allows for good insertion. It also has this Dremel where you can choke up and carve things, which I've done quite a bit. Works out well. It's not the most comfortable knife, but it works overall. Keep it under my pillow. Comes with a Secure X sheath. So does the Trench Hawk, which I enjoy quite a bit. This is awesome. Goes straight in and clips in. I don't have a reason to button it up because it's not going anywhere. The one thing I don't like is when drawing, if a quick draw was needed, it would not be available because it hangs loose from here and it's more difficult to reach if you needed to draw it. You have to put a lot of pressure on it to get it out. So, with that being said, it's an awesome knife. It has held up very well in the months I've used it, and I have beaten it up and battered it a lot, as I have with the trench hawk. So, thanks for watching. If you had any suggestions, I plan on purchasing a new cold steel sword probably soon enough, and I'm wanting to know which one I should get, so let me know the cheaper versions that are